Today, it is crucial to comprehend how social media impacts you in order to take care of your mental health, just as it is vital to eat well and exercise in order to stay healthy. Former Facebook executive Sean Parker said that social networking apps knew this knowingly and did it nonetheless, since they are about exploiting a hole in human psychology. I used to stare at my screen for an average of 3 to 4 hours each day. Social media platforms are businesses. The last time I looked, businesses wanted to turn a profit. In fact, because of the constant pressure of the stock market, publicly traded companies like Facebook, Instagram, owned by FB, Snapchat, and Twitter are even more profit-driven. No shit, Sherlock, you might be thinking, but this point needed to be made clear before we moved on. The question is, how do social media firms get there given that we know what they're trying to do, make a profit? Facebook's Mark Zuckerberg and his colleagues will try to persuade you that their main goal is to bring people together. I don't think so. At least not any longer. If it's free, you're the product, goes an adage. How much did you spend to become a Facebook subscriber? $0. This is now more true than it has ever been with social media businesses. Facebook's primary revenue stream comes from businesses that advertise their goods there. They cover your cost. The same is true for Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter. And what's this? Businesses provide for their customers. To users, no. To you, no, to companies. Who are your biggest rivals? Was a question that Netflix CEO Reed Hastings once received. Facebook, YouTube, and sleep. On the periphery, sleep is our rival. It's a considerable amount of time. We're winning, too, he retorted. Social media and smartphones have given us a new option, virtual or real life. It never goes away. Your brain keeps questioning itself throughout the day. Is reality stimulating enough? If not, let me check my phone first. Not that I object to folks looking at devices nonstop wherever I go. However, I do struggle with giving up my intellectual freedom. Remember, whenever you use social media apps, you are allowing them to control what is going through your head. In the morning, it is much more true. There are repercussions. Makes it easier to get bored. It seems like a nice deal, doesn't it? It isn't. Boredom, in my opinion, is the most potent catalyst for creativity. Bored? Take the books away, despise the arts, stop working on a project, and show no concern for my family. Let me just check that vapid Instagram account of the girl I will never meet. Again and again. Right, this sounds familiar. We prefer to stare at meaningless crap than to wander, consider fresh perspectives on how to better our own lives, and engage in novel experiences. That is how a sensible person becomes the ideal buyer. Hey, have you seen Kanye's new shoes? Do you recall seeing this? I just got a new iPhone, look at it. Pathetic. Destroys your productivity and focus. I would immediately halt my work whenever I received a notification so that I could check it. I would check my phone if the task I was working on became too challenging or monotonous. Every 5 to 10 minutes, we communicate. With that kind of behavior, how can you ever picture yourself accomplishing anything significant? Great labor is necessary for great achievements. Great work requires patience. You have to restart everything from scratch each time you get lost in one of those programs. Makes you dependent on instant gratification. People complain about millennials being impatient and lazy for the majority of the time. They are somewhat correct. But it makes no difference. Why is important, not how. Your brain receives a dopamine boost whenever you receive a like or a comment. The same chemical that makes us feel good after using drugs or for sexual purposes. Social media apps are highly addicting because of dopamine, but they are not prohibited. Even for children, they are open around the clock. Thus, your brain receives a tremendous amount of dopamine each day. Every day. You then need to learn how to use that same brain to decide what to do with your life. Long-term choices that will affect your life, making choices that either build or break significant relationships. If you're teaching your brain to be impatient and crave instant gratification, how can you expect it to make wise decisions? Knowing that genuine relationships require time, patience, and both parties to listen and comprehend, how can you possibly expect to build them? When it's too late, how are you going to rewire your brain? According to studies, the human brain matures between the ages of 25 and 30. Consider what you want to feed it up until that point. Makes you depend on phony, flimsy fame. The way society operates has been altered by social media. Foundations form the basis. Value and opinions and preferences are now routinely combined. What we refer to as a social validation feedback loop is that the objective of the game is straightforward. The more likes and comments that society gives you, the more you believe that what you're doing is correct. So it appears that everyone is in complete control. However, rates of depression and suicide are also at all-time highs. It didn't happen if you don't tell anyone. As a result of this concept, people now want to do things that they can publish rather than share what they do. What will people like? Do that. You visit the location you don't really care about, snap a photo, and then depart. Because it makes you appear wealthy on Instagram, you purchase that car that you really can't afford. Everyone must be aware that you attend the prestigious but useless school, given its stellar reputation. You continue to talk about the dull job you accepted because society sort of appreciates it on LinkedIn. Popularity is routinely confused with truth, and popularity is used as indisputable proof. The worst is yet to come, though, because nobody even realizes what's happening. Up until the day you lose everything, you believe you are on the correct course. What happens when society no longer approves of your behavior? What happens when you come to the realization that the people for whom you have been living could care less about your well-being? When you become aware that you have spent your entire life believing in and pursuing false illusions? Knowing oneself and acting on what makes one feel good is crucial. Aids in escaping reality. As I previously mentioned, you may now consistently select between reality and virtuality thanks to your phone and internet connection. You could essentially spend the entire day avoiding reality. But the main problem here is not that. It's a good thing that entertainment has existed for a long time. All that's left is control. The issue arises when you frequently use your phone to avoid uncomfortable situations in real life. When was the last time you made a public approach to your crush? When was the last time you gazed into your partner's eyes and expressed your love? When was the last time you verbally expressed your hatred towards someone? You see, those are actual events that cause you to feel nervous. Considering that you are a person, it is absolutely typical. However, we just choose to hide behind our screens and let WhatsApp or Messenger do the work because we are terrified. Of course, using WhatsApp cannot go wrong. You can't appear naive or helpless. And that way is considerably more pleasant. The issue is that the difficult circumstances are the ones that actually count. They should be experienced. Digitalizing those moments will only make your life feel hollow. Well, I guess social media can connect people to a certain extent. But I even disagree with that. Your brain thinks you're socializing because you see your friends on pictures. Reality is, you see them way less. Don't need to ask them how they're doing. You know all about their lives on Facebook. Don't need to ask what they did today or how their trip went. They posted it on Instagram or Snapchat stories. Don't need to miss them. You can text them every day. Think about that for a minute. Social media is tearing us apart. You shouldn't quit going to parties to solve your drinking problem. You'll only master it once you're able to go to parties and have fun without getting drunk. Problem is, social media apps are built by world-class engineers who know exactly how your brain works and how to trick it. It takes a lot of time and effort to be able to use these tools properly. But it's possible. And most importantly, it's urgent. That was for today. Thank you for staying with us. Don't forget to like our video and subscribe to our channel.